Yeah, hi, good morning. I'm Larry Porcari. I'm the Corporation Counsel for the City of Mount Vernon. Based upon the events of the past few days, I have a couple of remarks that I'm going to add to the prepared remarks. I just want to emphasize that based upon prior court's orders, it's clear that the mayor has been subject to political sabotage and animus of late. That's very unfortunate, but it's true. For clarity purposes, the present charges against the mayor, which have been in the news frequently, are actually related to campaign finance law, and they are not, as it is being characterized, public corruption charges. I keep seeing that. That's not what they are. They're related to the campaign finance law, and those things are usually handled civilly, not criminally. Now, based upon two opinions from counsel, the mayor is exempt from certain disclosure requirements as demanded by the Board of Ethics. I would refer you to the General Municipal Law at Section 812. Three separate court orders that the administration had to obtain in order to keep operating since we've gotten here. Were required, and without those court orders, we all wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be operating the way we're operating right now. This administration has been forced to go to court over and over and over again in order to keep operating. Now, as I was saying before I digressed, I'm the Chief Legal Officer for the City of Mount Vernon. I serve as the legal counsel for the mayor, the City Council, and the various departments and boards of this city. In that respect, I provide legal guidance and counsel to all elected officials, boards, departments, and employees within the city. It's my responsibility to ensure that our city charter and the code is followed. Last week, a confidential report was leaked to the media by the Board of Ethics. This was in direct violation of the Ethics Board's own rules. As counsel to that board, I was not consulted about its investigation, nor was I consulted before the public release of that report. This release of confidential information was in direct violation of the city's charter, the city's internet policy, and quite probably violated the due process rights of the subject of that report. This unfortunate action has resulted in my issuing a written reprimand to the Board of Ethics and its members. Now, please take note that in order for a Board of Ethics to serve its role, it must act with the utmost professionalism. Its role is to hold our elected officials and employees to the highest of ethical standards. Equally important, it must carry out this duty while remaining free of politics and outside influence. Recent violations by the Board of Ethics include failing to meet with the Corporation Counsel, my office and myself, despite many requests to do so through the city clerk. Failing to notify the Corporation Counsel of meetings or providing minutes of their meetings. Illegally copying and distributing official confidential records, especially from the clerk's office. Leaking confidential documents to the press, violating the city's internet policy. In other words, the Board of Ethics violated due process, released the report without legal authority to do so. Please note that even if the Board of Ethics somehow believed they had that authority, with the consent of the City Council or otherwise, the record shows that there was no resolution of the City Council in this matter granting the board that authority. There was nothing in writing anywhere. It is my conclusion that the release of the report was rushed and that the release was timed and intended to damage the mayor. Let me be clear, this is unacceptable behavior by any board that works for the City of Mount Vernon. Because of these unfortunate events, we need to take legitimate action to ensure that the Charter and Code of Mount Vernon are followed from this point forward. In my view, the only way that this can be done is through fully funding our Office of the Inspector General. Now, since 2010, the City Council has been in a state of noncompliance with a court order that the city must fund our Inspector General position. We need real, meaningful, and honest action. The best first step is to appoint an Inspector General and act on his or her recommendations for the future of Mount Vernon. In conclusion, the people of Mount Vernon deserve better than what they received last week. I would like to emphasize that, in my view, the Board of Ethics acted unethically, unprofessionally, and illegally. It is time that the City Council act, and so I stand before the people of Mount Vernon today and demand that the City Council authorize the full funding of an Inspector General. The people of this city deserve nothing less. Thank you. Anyone have any questions? I'm prepared to answer some questions.
Who appoints an Inspector General?
I'm sorry?
Who would appoint the Inspector General if funded by the council?
The Inspector General would be appointed by the mayor.
So you're calling on the City Council
To fund the position. There are several court orders. There are several court orders in the past going back to proceedings that we don't even have full records of in 2010 and prior, where the City Council didn't like what was, and the City Council and the prior controller didn't like what was going on with the Inspector General, so they defunded the Inspector General and attempted to take his position out of the code and the charter. That was illegal. It was in violation of court orders. We still have court orders saying that that position is supposed to be restored and supposed to be properly funded. It was not.
So how independent would an independent inspector be if appointed by the mayor?
How independent is any position here in the city if it's appointed by the City Council or by the clerk or, say, by the mayor? Are you saying that no one is independent because they were appointed by someone? I've appointed my deputy corporation counsels. They have no independence?
So he works for you.
That's correct.
Right.
So you have no independence because you were hired by LOHUD or by News 12 or by whatever agency hired you. That's your argument. I hope that's not the standard for working at News 12. I hope it's not that you have to do everything they say no matter what it is.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the point that you made about the media calling it corruption. That was the Attorney General's language. So should we not use the language that the Attorney General used when describing law?
I'm simply pointing out, sir, that this is the accusation is a violation of campaign finance laws. It is absolutely not a public corruption charge. They are different things.
But that was the language of the Attorney General.
And if that's true, that's unfortunate. These matters are usually dealt with as a civil matter, at worst subject to a fine. They are rarely escalated to a criminal matter, and it is not a public corruption charge.
Does the mayor support the ethics board? Because is it true that he signed off on the resolution that the city council drafted, calling on organizing the board together?
Of course the mayor supports the ethics board. The mayor supports the citizens of this city and supports all the boards and supports all the elected officials that believes everyone should be working together for the betterment of the city in order to move the city forward. The Inspector General is a quasi-criminal prosecutorial position. Excuse me, I'm stumbling over my tongue this morning. The ethics board, the ethics board is more of a board which attempts to prevent conflicts of interest. An Inspector General is supposed to be investigating criminal or quasi-criminal conduct. There's an Inspector General over in Yonkers, for example.
Okay. So I just want some understanding. So I feel like Mount Vernon is in a state want to know what's going on. They want information, and they're releasing information. And if it's true, then I still understand. Is it illegal that they released what they released, or is it just wasn't the right?
In my personal opinion, as a lawyer who's been practicing well over 30 years, yes. If you read the statutes, and I lay that out in my memorandum, if you read the statute, the board is only permitted to do certain things as to officials that the city council or someone else here has the ability to relieve from office. Only the governor can relieve from office the controller, for example. The board doesn't have authority over certain things. It's not allowed to ask certain things. I don't really want to start going through all the statutes and.
Didn't City Council ask the board for that information?
City Council can ask the board for the information. If the City Council wishes to release it, even if you believe the City Council has the authority to release it, shouldn't the City Council take a vote on that? We don't have a star chamber here in the United States. The City Council should have taken a vote. There should be a resolution of some kind, a majority vote. I can't find paper anywhere. None of that happened. Now, I understand that yesterday one of the council people were out front saying that the council agreed to release the report. I don't know where or when that happened. And there certainly isn't any paperwork to back up that assertion.
But are you denying what they released is true or not? Are you saying it's not true?
I'm not taking any positions as to what's in the report.
Okay.
I'm talking about the procedure, which was fatally defective.
So what's going to happen now? What is your job?
You're asking an attorney to speculate?
I don't know. What is your job next? What's your next move?
I issued a formal written reprimand to the Board of Ethics. I don't expect that they're going to do anything like this. And work together and see to it that nothing like this unfortunate incident repeats itself.
The report being released, she felt like the board acted well within their rights to turn the report over to the city council and then have it come out. So if she's saying that, is she wrong?
Did you listen to what I just said to the nice young lady here? If she believes that, sir, then what she should have done is they all should, and I think she would be wrong, respectfully speaking. I don't think they have the authority to release it. But if she actually believes that they have the authority to release it, they should have taken a public vote, and there should have been a resolution, majority rules at the city council. I do not believe they ever did that. A phone call to someone saying, yes, please release the report, that's not an official action of the city council. And I don't know what they did. I'm speculating as to whether even there was a phone call. All right? Thank you.